And if you're anybody who's anybody, you probably had a bit of a rough weekend betting, but if you're the sports books, I'm sure it was a glorious weekend for you. For the rest of us, we're excited about Monday Night Football, some two outstanding playoff games ahead of us. We have one that's starting in just about an hour. That's why we're on a little bit early. So look forward to talking some sports with you guys on this Monday across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick as always. It is so wonderful to have all of our our butt fumblers with us every single day here at Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you guys, of course, are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. If you're watching right now, no matter the platform, hit the like button. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel, getting that algorithm to get the word out about Butt Fumble Sports every single day. Make sure as well that you always hit us up. We love hearing from you guys. Feedback at buttfumblesports.com, or you can go to our website and hit us up there. We've got plenty to talk about today. Fantasy football lineups. Daniel F., hope you're having a great day. Fantasy football lineups. How do we handle tonight's action in terms of sports bets? And, of course, everything else we need to cash in. Daniel F., hope you're having a great day as well. Appreciate all of you guys being with us, no matter the platform, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Here to help you guys out with everything you guys need. Yosef, bro, thanks to you, I won. I played Palmer and JSN over Eli Moore and Judy. Yusuf, great to have you with us every day. Appreciate the support that you show us, Yusuf. Hope you're having a great Monday. Clearly you are, thanks to our advice. Alex, who do I drop Wilson for? Alex, I don't know who's in your league, Alex Pereira lover, so you're going to have to give us some more details. Hard to answer an open-ended question such as that. Josh, will Eckler be okay, or should I dump? Certainly wouldn't dump him, Josh. That's an overreaction, so wouldn't make the kind of overreactions that we're seeing, so quickly. We try to overreact to what we see on one Sunday. Certainly shouldn't do that. Anyways, appreciate all of you guys being with us, of course. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Shank, Nico, hope you're doing well. Cohen, should I trade Waddle for more? Absolutely not. Mesmerize, thoughts on a three-leg parlay. 49ers money line, Ayuk plus 4 receptions, and Ayuk 40 receiving yards. Mesmerize, I do like that parlay. We're going to talk about a lot of player prop bets, a lot of bets we're going to make tonight on the baseball games and Monday Night Football. So appreciate you guys being with us. Definitely get those questions in as well. Daniel F., would you trade Barkley for Waddle and Jacobs? No, yes, if I'm getting Waddle and Jacobs, I absolutely would. Will McGovern, should I give Amon-Ra and Kyren for Breece Hall and Puka? Yeah, I'd love to get Breece Hall and Puka. I think that's a great trade, Will McGovern. I'd absolutely do that. Shank, trade K9 for Pollard. Yes, I would. Caspian C, trade Cooper. I think you can. I think you can trade Cooper at this point because the quarterback situation is so muddled there in Cleveland. Angel MP, traded Williams for Gibbs. Interesting. I love it. Justin, I'm down 6 with Kittle left to play. He's got 49ers defense left. Think I'm going to pull it out? I think you're going to be really worried about the sacks and interceptions tonight. I think Kittle gets in the end zone, Justin. I think that's where you get your chance. But I don't like the fact that the 49ers defense has such a good matchup. Zach, Jennings over yards and Kittle over receptions. What are our thoughts? Let's take a quick look at it, everybody. Appreciate you guys being with us. We're going to do some of our sports betting research right now, diving into this game. The question we just got was about Jennings over yards and Kittle over receptions. I'll start with George Kittle right now. Just going to quickly look at receptions. 4.5 is not the better play here. Over 4.5 is not the better play. The under's the better play. I know it's National Tight Ends Day or week or whatever we're calling it in the NFL, but this hasn't been a good trend overall. Under's been a better play. If you want to go in the other direction, fine with no Deebo Samuel. I get it, but I'd be a little bit worried about this one. I like the touchdown. I like the yards. I don't know if I like the overall receptions. I'm a little wary on that. As for Jennings, by the way, thank you so much, IP Shade 45. As for Jennings on yards, 28 receiving yards, 28.5. Might be a decent play. He's been around that figure over the course of the season, and with Deebo out, kind of an interesting one. Games without Deebo Samuel, I don't think this is going to show up because I don't think they played. It went over on one, so there's at least one trend that you could look at. Again, guys, I'm using Outlier, great sports betting tool that allows us to dive into the data and the research to help you guys out. let's get back to some of these questions. Mr. Mush, Niners Phillies moneyline parlay. I have that one myself, Mr. Mush. Yes, I do. I have that one myself. Appreciate you guys helping me out with my live goal. You guys are the best. Really appreciate it. IP Shade 45, big shout out. FBGJJ, everyone seems to like the Ayuk receptions. I understand the public had a brutal weekend, so maybe the public can win one tonight. How do you all think about the 49ers defense will do against the Vikings? I think that actually, surprisingly, I think Kirk Cousins might play a little bit better than we expect. I could still see him throwing a pick, but I think the Vikings will keep this a one-score game. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think. But I think the 49ers defense will get the sacks, get the production ultimately to win. Bennett, trade Amon-Ra for Eckler. It's an interesting idea. Bennett, if you need the running back, I certainly would make the move to upgrade at the running back position. Matt, I need a wide receiver willing to give up Bijan and Pollard. Who should I go for? If you're giving up Bijan and Pollard, you should be shooting for like the top of the top. I push for, if you're combining the two, Amon-Ra St. Brown at this point is playing him into that like top 6 wide receiver conversation. I still think A.J. Brown. I'd still ask for Chase. I'd ask for the premium of the premium. Trade Kyren Williams for Breece Hall. Absolutely. Make that deal if you can now. Sal Solano, what do you think about Garcia over 1.5 bases? That trend's been really good of late. Really quickly, we're going to answer a baseball question here. Adolis Garcia and total bases. By the way, appreciate you guys asking these player prop bet questions. I'm using Outlier to research it. You can see it's been a good trend over the last 10. Hit 7 out of the last 10 games. Just don't love the matchup, actually. Christian Javier has pitched really well in the postseason. And additionally, Adolis Garcia has bad numbers against him. As you can see, just a 118 batting average in 17 at-bats. So Adolis Garcia might be a good play against the bullpen, but not against the starter. I'd avoid the bases. I'd avoid bases overall for Adolis Garcia. Thanks so much for the question. Dylan, do I trade Tyreek, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram for Kelsey and Waddle? No, I think I'd rather have Tyreek Hill and Evan Ingram overall. Kyan, hey, running backs, Jacobs, Mixon, Kyren Williams, and Mixon, okay. Should I roll with them or try to pair and pair Waddle for a better running back? You can. I don't love your running backs. They're okay, but with Kyron's injury, don't like it. Javier over pitcher fantasy score. JP, I wouldn't bet it tonight, and here's why. In a Game 7, you feel like these managers could have a quick hook, so I don't like to bet pitcher fantasies in a Game 7 because I don't think it's an abnormal situation. That's one note that I want to make for you guys. A lot of the bets I try to make, as you guys know, are off of data, trends, and analytics. When you get to outlier games, when you get to games that are obscure, that don't have the consistency that we can rely on, it gets a lot tougher, so I'm not as big on it. Toe Devour, or up 60 against Kirk, McCaffrey, Hawkinson, Madison. Can I win? Sure you could. Absolutely you could. That Silver Z, pick 3. That Silver Z, for next week I'm picking 3. We're not there yet. Who to trade for Josh Jacobs? Well, if you're giving up a running back, I'm assuming you need to upgrade at another position, so wide receiver. If you're looking at Josh Jacobs and you're trading there, you know, where are you going at the wide receiver position? Sorry, Mixon, Montgomery, Jacobs. Still feel the same way, Kyan. Still feel the same way. Kike is Guap. Good afternoon. You think the 49ers defense get 10-plus points? That they score 10-plus points or in fantasy? In fantasy, I think they'll get 10 points. Yes. Let's check out Hawkinson, plus 5, over 5.5 receptions. TJ Hawkinson, over 5.5 receptions, is the most popular play. Not surprising, National Tight Ends Day, weekend, whatever. And it's been a very good trend as well. At home, looking at it, in home games. 4 out of the last 5. Did miss against the Chiefs, but it was at 5. This is a good play. Over 5.5 receptions for TJ Hawkinson. I would take that one. Ryan, do I trade Puka and Metcalf for Jamar Chase and Michael Thomas? I'd rather have Chase and Thomas. I think. It's close. I say that, and I don't know if I mean it. Puka's played so well. It's that I love getting Jamar Chase for the second half of the season. But Michael Thomas in that Saints passing game is starting to concern me a little bit. George Z, would you trade Mike Evans and Jacobs for Cooper Kupp? George Z, it's very close. I don't love giving up a running back at this time in the year. I'll say yes, but it's very close. I almost think you should ask for Kupp and something more. Cole Mason, Jones, Goddard, Thielen for Barkley, and Devontae Smith if I could do it. Yep, Cole Mason, I'd absolutely make that deal. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you guys have questions, sports betting questions, fantasy questions, here to help you guys out. Michael, trade Chase for Metcalf, Eckler, and Amari Cooper. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's enough value there. Carlos, 27, trade Smitty and Lockett for Kupp. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Nico, trade Pollard and Keenan Allen for Chase, Jacobs, and Breece Hall. Yep, I do like the Chase, Jacobs, and Breece Hall side. Brianna. Thanks so much, Brianna. Daniel F. Do I trade Mahomes, Hopkins for Trevor Lawrence, Olave, Kyron, Flowers? I don't love giving up Mahomes right now, but I don't like Hopkins' value. So trading Mahomes for Lawrence, Olave, and Flowers would be worth it. So Daniel F. Yep, I'll go with it. Patrick Ewing, should I trade Gibbs and Ridley for Barkley? No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I think Gibbs and Ridley provide combined more value rest of season. Jimmy, need 35 points for tonight with Ayuk and the 49ers defense. Can I win? I think 35 is a little bit too much to ask. If you were closer to 25 or 30, I'd feel better about it. Nosebleed Fantasy traded Dylan and CD for Jacobs and Tank Dell. I have Mostert and Henry. I don't really like the trade. Nosebleed Fantasy, I don't like the trade. Jose, Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown, keeping that streak alive. As you guys know, maybe the best ticket in all of sports betting over the last year and a half has been Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. I actually put this out on the SHARPZ app earlier today. You guys know at this point, I put out all of my bets on the SHARPZ app. DM me on Instagram if you want to get all of those bets. But I put out on the SHARPZ app that I don't just like Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. There's actually another bet that I really like. So Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown at this point, I can even pull it up on our screen, is going off at about a minus 210, minus 215 kind of play. Why? Because it's been such a good ticket that the sports books are wise to it. So there you see, minus 210 on DraftKings, minus 185 on FanDuel. This is as good a ticket as there is. I mean, what do we call this here at Butt Fumble Sports? We call this a lawn. So much green up on your screen, you need a lawnmower to clean it off. So with that said, not a great bet anymore. Not as attractive as it could be. So what do we actually turn that into? First half touchdown. Now the reason I like Christian McCaffrey in a first half touchdown is this. He's banged up. He's been working this entire week with therapy and physical therapy and everything else to get healthy for this game. He is going to play tonight. But because of the injury, you have to think that the durability is not there. The endurance may not be there. So I expect the 49ers will use him early in this game, try to get as much of a lead, get as much out of him as possible. And then I'm sure they're actually going to go to a rotation of players in the second half. I would expect them to try to give him some relief as the game goes on. So I think this is a great opportunity to turn a negative bet into a positive bet. Take Christian McCaffrey. Instead of taking him on an anytime touchdown alone, take him on an anytime touchdown in the first half. Expect him to get into the end zone in the first half and ultimately cash a ticket, not just with anytime touchdown, but with that first half touchdown as well. Speaking of which, that's cashed in 5 straight games. It's cashed in 8 of the last 10 games he's played. So it's a good bet overall anyways, but given the injury, I think it's a really good play. I'm going to put this one up on my board. It is going to be my Sharps play of the day. I'm going to take a risk on it. I like it so much. I thought about it earlier, and I was like, this one I really like. I rarely take a touchdown anytime in the first half or those kind of first half, second half kind of bets. But this one I feel good about. Christian McCaffrey over half, a first half touchdown. There you go. That's my Sharps play of the day. If you want every bet that I make every single day, DM me on Instagram. Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. DM me over at Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. I'll share a referral code and link, and you can get every bet that I make every single day. No matter the type of bet, no matter the sport. Appreciate you guys being with us. Here, let's get back to some of those fantasy questions. Ethan Burr traded Keenan Allen and Foreman for Kupp. I do like that trade. I like that trade, Ethan Burr. Cozy, Adams for JJ now. I actually feel better about that now than I would have a week ago. So, yeah, I kind of think that's an interesting trade. Josh, what should I trade Olave for? I certainly don't think that you're going to get a better wide receiver in trading him. I don't think someone's going to do a 1-for-1 and give you a Waddle or give you someone who's an upgrade. Maybe Waddle's not even on his level, but I'm still big on Olave. He had a bad night on on Thursday night rather, but I'm expecting Olave to play better. So I wouldn't give up Olave, but if I did, it would either be for a very tight end, or a top-end tight end. That's a Kelsey. That's a Mark Andrews. I don't know if I'd give up Olave even for Hawkinson or Laporta, but it would have to be a running back. It'd have to be a top-tier running back, Josh. Hayden, do you think Jeff Wilson will have a big role in the next few weeks? No. Hayden, I don't expect him to. I think he could have a play or two where he goes off against the Patriots run defense that's always vulnerable against speed. But overall, I'm not as high on Jeff Wilson Jr. as I would have been if Achane wasn't in the picture in the weeks to come. JP, do you like Purdy over 15.5 fantasy points? Yes, I do, JP. I actually think this is a Brock Purdy redemption game. Not that he played that poorly last week. He played bad, but he didn't play, he didn't play great, but it was like they should have won that game if Moody's able to make the kick. So I actually think Brock Purdy plays a lot better against a bad Vikings pass defense. Cole, do I trade Goddard or Laporta? I trade Goddard. I think Goddard got great value for you if you're trading him. Last night he played really well, but I'd rather have Laporta for the remainder of the season. Jorge, trade one, Jacobs, Waller, Montgomery, Aaron Jones. Oh, it would be Jacobs. Jorge, I trade Jacobs number one. I was disappointed in Aaron Jones not being more a part of the running game, being too involved in the passing game, but I think as he gets healthier, maybe I'm the last holdout on the Aaron Jones trade, but I'm still a believer. Mark Gonzalez, MMA, trade Nico and Brian Robinson Jr. for Saquon Barkley. Mark Gonzalez, yes. I'm okay with that trade. Mark Gonzalez, yes. Let's get back to some of these questions over on TikTok. Thoughts? I traded JT, Puka for Bijan and Evans. I'd rather have JT and Puka. Sorry. Michael, would you trade Kupp for Kirk and Olave? I'd rather have Kupp. I'm assuming that's Christian Kirk and not Kirk Cousins. I still think I'd rather have Cooper Kupp, believe it or not. Landshark, Puka, Mixon, Stroud for JJ, Henry, Deshaun Watson. I'm 6-1 with Kupp and Hill. I'd rather have Puka, Mixon, and Stroud. Landshark. Jorge, I'm 3-4. Should I keep all my running backs and be patient? I'm okay with it. I like your running backs right now, so I'd be okay with it. Log M. Start one tonight, down by 5. Christian McCaffrey, Mason Mitchell have all 3. Oh, start Christian McCaffrey. If he's playing tonight, believe he can get you 5 points. Believe in McCaffrey. Danny 7. I'm down 11. I still have Ayuk, but I'm going against Christian McCaffrey. Any hope? The hope is, unfortunately, that he got hurt. And obviously we don't want to see that. We're not rooting for that, Danny. But that's what I think. Log M, appreciate you being with us today. Chase Holdsman, should I trade Gus Edwards and Hunter Henry for Dalton Schultz and Amari Cooper? Ooh, good question. I kind of like it, Chase Holdsman. I like the trade. Yeah, I like it. Yep. Cameron, why did Cup play bad yesterday? I think that Puka and Cooper Cup may be in a kind of pendulum swing. I think there are some games where both go off, but I think there are going to be games where one of them's the star, and you see that a lot when you have a Randy Moss and when you have a Chris Carter and a Randy Moss. And yes, I will compare Puka to Randy Moss at this moment statistically early in his career because he's deserving of it. But when you have that situation, someone becomes the top dog. A defense wants to take away Cooper Kupp, it leaves Puka more open. Or like the week before, both should eat, but Puka has a drop, and so instead the next play they go to someone else. I think that's just a back and forth, but I'm not worried about Cooper Kupp obviously week to week. I think that the production he gets, the targets, how he's integrated into the offense gives you a lot of faith. John Gregory, Puka and Jordan Love for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ooh. Good question. I would do that trade probably. Maybe to just get rid of Jordan Love. Dean, I traded away Jacobs and Scary Terry for Saquon. I am wide receiver heavy. Thoughts? I'm okay with it, Dean. I'm okay with it. It is an upgrade at the running back position. I'm going to try to get a better deal to see if I can fleece for Ayuk. Go for it, Chase Holtzman. I love when people are like, yeah, I'm gonna try and fleece my best friend who's in my league. Let's see if I can rip him off. I love it. Nathan, should I trade St. Brown, Swift, Tua, and Higgins for Hurts, Mixon, and Chase? No, I actually wouldn't, and that's because I actually love the depth that you have. I think Hurts will outscore Tua the rest of the year, but between Mixon and Chase versus St. Brown, Swift, and Higgins, I think St. Brown, Swift, and Higgins has a lot of value there, in part because I don't want to be so loaded on the Bengals offense. I don't want Mixon and Chase because their value almost cannibalizes one another. I like the diversity of being invested in the Lions, in the number one wide receiver there, being invested in Swift, the number one running back there, and Higgins, who's still going to be a part of that Bengals offense that you believe in. Dean, I do like Rashee Rice. I just love what I'm seeing from him. Good route runner, knows how to get open in that offense, but maybe most importantly, he actually makes the catches. He knows how to get his feet in bounds. He just makes plays. I'm impressed. JP, I saw you posted some NHL picks on SHARPZ. Are NHL picks something you touch often? JP, the answer is yes. I mentioned this yesterday, so I always wait a good portion, a few weeks into the season to start putting down some bets. But because I like to see the trends start to develop. And that's actually why I did start putting down some bets. JP, good eye, checking us out on the SHARPZ app. The bets I put down tonight in hockey, and I'm going to do this a lot, I like when I can see someone who's on a good point streak. When someone has been consistently getting points. In hockey, that's a goal or assist for all those out there who may not know what I mean by points. I know there are some rooks to hockey. But that said, when someone's just, they've got the touch. Not necessarily as a goal scorer, but they're in the middle of the action. Their line mates have been hot. They've been a good distributor or scorer. That's usually who I like. And when I see that they've just been on a good trend, I like to ride that. Like I said, now that we've had a few games under our belt, it's a good time to start putting in some of those hockey bets moving forward. So I will touch that more and more. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Great to have you guys with us. Make sure you guys hit that follow button if you haven't done so already. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. If you're watching over on YouTube, if you're watching over on TikTok, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you're a member of this Butt Fumble Sports community. And of course, like I said before, we give out our picks every single day on Instagram. So DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, and I'll hook you guys up with a referral code and link. I'm going to drop a few picks for you guys. We've hit 2,500 likes, so I'll give out another pick for you guys. This is an obvious one. I am going to take the 49ers on the money line tonight. 49ers on the money line. However, I'm also going to take the Vikings on the cover. I'm going to take Vikings. I took them at 10.5. This has been a week in which the favorite has lost. If the public liked you, the football gods hated you, and I am very mindful of that. So I can get Vikings right now at plus 10.5, and I can get that at, minus 183. You know what? In a week that's been a little odd, in a week that's been a little wonky, fine. I'll take the Vikings at home. By the way, no Trent Williams tonight. No Trent Williams. The left tackle of the 49ers is not playing tonight. He's out. So maybe Danielle Hunter gets a sack. Maybe Kirk Cousins plays a little bit better. Recently in primetime, he's actually played better. I know there's this rep about Kirk Cousins in primetime, but over the last 5, 6, 7 primetime games, he's played better. I still think he'll throw a pick tonight, but that's irrelevant. I think the Vikings keep this a closer game, so I'll take the 49ers on the money line. I'll take the Vikings to cover the plus 10.5. I'll be on both sides of this one, cashing a ticket either way. Feel good about that. But more importantly, I'll plug that into some parlays. When we get up to 5,000 likes, I'll give you one of those games I'm going to parlay this with. One other pick I'm going to parlay this with. So hit us up if you guys keep tapping that screen. If you want another pick that we're going to parlay with our 49ers money line and our Vikings plus 10.5. Elliott, Vikings are trash without Jefferson. We'll see. The Titanic. Crazy Sunday. Crazy Sunday. Really enjoyable and at the same time crushing. Once the Bills lost, it was just oh, so there's just going to be chaos. Adam Fritz. Will Hawkinson get less than 10 points tonight? No, I think he's going to go over 10 points. Gage, Chase for Evans and Gibbs. I'd rather have Chase. Gage, I'd rather have Chase. Dylan Bernal, should I pick up Najee, Darrell Henderson, or Bourne? I'd probably go Henderson number 1. Bourne would be 2, but I prefer Henderson. Appreciate the question. Jeremy, should I trade high on Thielen? Yes, the answer is I would. I know that there's probably still value there just because how he's used in the offense. But frankly, I think it's a great way that you could turn someone that you thought was just going to be riding the pine on your team into somebody else who has a lot of lock-it-in value. Because I don't know if I could still trust Thielen. I know the stats tell me I should, but I don't know if I really can. We just hit 5,000 picks. All right, 5,000 picks. 5,000 likes, so let me give out another pick. This one, again, probably not going to surprise you guys. I'm taking Phillies on the money line. Phillies on the money line, and it has to do with Aaron Nola, guys. Aaron Nola, when the Phillies are a favorite at home, he wins. He wins. That's what he does. I think it's something like when the Phillies are a favorite at minus 150 or better, he's something like 15-0. I think I saw that earlier today. The Phillies are going to win tonight. I feel very good about it. That doesn't mean we don't like Merrill Kelly. Let me say that again. Keep your eye on Merrill Kelly, total number of outs. Merrill Kelly, total number of outs might be a really good bet, but I do like the Phillies tonight, and it's all about Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola on the road, I might feel a little differently. At Citizens Bank Park, we're taking it to the bank. So, a few picks that we've given out so far. Christian McCaffrey over a first half touchdown. 49ers money line, Vikings plus 10.5, and the Phillies on the money line. If you guys want every bet that I make every day, no matter the sport, no matter the type of bet, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Yep, I did start a company called Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you DM me on Instagram, and I'll hook you guys up with a referral code and link so you can play along with every bet that I make every single day. Elliott Robinson took them first 5 money line. I love that bet as well, Elliott Robinson. That's actually a really good call. I like that one as well. The only concern I have about that is Merrill Kelly is a good pitcher, and has pitched well, but Elliott Robinson, I like the idea on that one as well. Let's get back to some fantasy questions. Spencer Niles, thoughts on Gibbs? Thought he played well. I mean, in the second half at least, he showed you the speed. He showed you what he can do in the passing game. I thought it was interesting because throughout the entirety of the season prior to yesterday, we've been talking about Bijan Robinson, and we've been saying, man, Gibbs hasn't done anything. He hasn't been utilized at all. And yesterday it was the reverse of that. Bijan got no production. Meanwhile, Gibbs actually showed you some life, so I like it. I have McCaffrey and Ayuk. I get Etienne, St. Brown. I wouldn't do that deal. I wouldn't do that deal because I don't trust Etienne and St. Brown to stay healthy, but do I trust McCaffrey to stay healthy? Elliott Robinson, I'm worried about the Bills now. Hopefully you're talking about the Buffalo Bills and not your Bills at home. But the answer is I am too. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, or if you're someone who bet on the Bills, if you're someone who likes the Bills Mafia, now is the time to be concerned. Because what I'm seeing isn't about the team, it's about who's not on the team. And I mentioned it in a rant I put out yesterday. Matt Milano is missed, guys. Tre'Davious White was a big loss. Devastating. But last year, they still went into the playoffs and they figured things out enough, even without Tre'Davious White. Matt Milano is the heartbeat of that defense. I think Matt Milano may be the most important member of the Bills team. I'll say that again. Obviously, Josh Allen's incredibly important. We all know the value of a quarterback. But I don't know if there is one player who means more to the Bills outside of Josh Allen than Matt Milano. And losing Matt Milano, what I saw yesterday is the Patriots could run on them, but also there were some patterns where all of a sudden they're asking linebackers to do things they're not able to do. Matt Milano is great in the run, great in the pass, and he is the leader of that defense. Devastating loss not having him the rest of the year. If I'm a Bills fan, I would be worried because with losing him, I'm trying to think, losing him to me would be the equivalent of the Chiefs losing Chris Jones. I know that sounds nuts, but that's how big a player, that's how important he is to that defense. Not having Matt Milano, to me, would be like the Chiefs not having Chris Jones for the rest of the year. Devastating. I don't think the Bills are going to recover. I do think the Bills will fall short of another Super Bowl run because of Matt Milano's injury, because I don't see how you overcome that unless they were able to make a trade like the Ravens did last year, getting Roquan Smith. But I don't see too many linebackers out there that are of the Roquan Smith caliber that they'd be able to get. And devastating loss. Devastating loss. By the way, how's that Roquan Smith trade working out now? Did everyone see that Ravens defense? The one thing I hope came out of that Lions-Ravens game yesterday, everyone's going to talk about Lamar. Everyone's going to talk about that offense. Wonderful. The Ravens defense is fierce, guys. The Ravens defense has overcome injuries, has overcome questions and doubts, and the Ravens defense is good. They play good downhill football. They're really tough to run on. They're not easy to pass on either. Look out, man. The Ravens are coming together. Surprise, surprise, John Harbaugh has another dog in Baltimore. Zachary, Merrill Kelly over strikeout or total outs? Total outs. Zachary, I really like Merrill Kelly on total outs. Let me pull this up on Outlier and show you guys what I'm talking about. So, if we jump over onto player prop bets here on Outlier, and I just show you Merrill Kelly. 14.5 outs, good implied probability, 59%. We certainly like that. But maybe even more important, last 10 starts, this is cashed. 10 straight starts, he's gone over 14.5 outs. In the postseason, he's been incredibly reliable against the Dodgers and the Phillies in terms of getting outs. I really like it tonight. Merrill Kelly over 14.5 outs. In fact, I'll throw this one up on my board as well so you guys can see it throughout the show. Merrill Kelly over 14.5 outs. Like that play. A lot of green up on the screen. Now, there are some hitters who hit him really well. I put this one out earlier today. It's one of my favorite bets of the day. I'll put it out again. Trey Turner rakes on this guy. When he was with the Dodgers, he faced him quite a bit. Trey Turner rakes against Merrill Kelly. 429 batting average. It's even better if we go back farther, I believe. But that said, I'm going to drop this one in here as well. Trey Turner, I'm going to take him in a couple of different ways, everybody. Trey Turner over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. But I'd also take Trey Turner over half a hit. I'd parlay that with some things. And actually, I take Trey Turner over half a run. I'm confident enough that he will score a run tonight, that it's just a good play on its own. So if I like him to get over half a hit, if I like him to get over half a run, then of course I like him over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. So I'm very big on Trey Turner tonight. I'm definitely a big believer, doubling down on him. That might be risk, being so high on one player. It's paid off with Yordan Alvarez so far. We'll see if it pays off with Trey Turner. TB, should I trade Walker or Pollard for Bijan? Or are there better? I'd rather have Walker or Pollard. I'd rather have Walker or Pollard. Cole Mason, Moss, Goddard for Stevenson. No, I don't. I think you're giving up too much value, believe it or not. Stevenson had a good week. Let's not overblow his rest of season value. Duffy the GOAT, London and Addison for Higgins. Again, I feel like a lot of the trades I'm hearing right now, you guys are giving up a little bit too much value. Jose, do we trust Christian Javier or Scherzer more? I trust Christian Javier more. It doesn't mean I like the Astros to win. It doesn't mean that I like the Astros to win necessarily. What I would say is, though, do I trust Christian Javier in the playoffs more than Scherzer? Absolutely. I don't trust Scherzer right now. I'd be more worried about Scherzer. The Titanic sent Hunt, Addison, James Conner, received Walker and Warren. Yeah, I think you won that. I do think you won that, Titanic. Shonk, Purdy, and Kyron for ETN. I like that one. Shonk, I like that trade as well. Appreciate you guys being with us. Again, if you want every bet that I make every single day, just DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram, just like Ty did, Ty Games. Hit me up on Instagram and is like, hey, let's get the sauce for those bets, good sir. And I'm like, of course, whatever that means, let me hand out those picks. So there you go. If you guys want every bet that I make every day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Sports on Instagram is also the time of the day with where I broadcast my show, where we're getting the perfect amount of glare. So I feel like I've got the perfect amount of shadow coming at me. So again, if you guys want all of my bets, just DM me on Instagram. Let's get back to some of your fantasy questions, though, right now. Trevor, trade Gibbs and Cooper for Pacheco and Scary Terry. Yep, I do that trade, Trevor Carty. I do that trade. Best QB in fantasy. You got to believe it's Patrick Mahomes. And one of the reasons I say that is he's the one you can trust the most. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be in contention for that simply because the tush push, he gets so many rushing touchdowns now that it gives incredible value to him. But Patrick Mahomes, he's only going to get better. He is only going to get better. I like what they've done in bringing back McCole Hardman. They're just adding more speed around him. I trust Patrick Mahomes more than anybody. In that note, do I trade Metcalf for Flowers? I would. I'd rather have Flowers right now than Metcalf. Part of that has to do with health. Nick Romero, would you trade Debo and Devontae Smith for Amon-Ra St. Brown? No. Giving up too much value? No. I'm now trying to turn Warren and Higgins for Christian Kirk. Oh, I wouldn't do that. I think you're giving up too much value there. Adrian got ways. Do I do Waddle and Brown for Keenan and Dotson? I'd rather have Waddle and Brown. I'm assuming that's Hollywood Brown. I actually think Hollywood Brown has some value, so I wouldn't be too quick to give up on him. If you wanted to upgrade to Keenan Allen, I get it, but Waddle and Marquise Hollywood Brown might have some value there. Thoughts on Taysom Hill as a starting tight end? I think it goes to show just how the season's going for you. KJ Osborne or George Kittle? I'd rather go George Kittle, believe it or not. Do I mean that? I think I do. I think George Kittle has a greater chance of getting the touchdown. That's why I say that. Between the 20s, I think Osborne has the better game, but I'll take George Kittle to get the touchdown. That's why I say it. Thoughts on JT Hoyt? I'm big on JT rest of season, only getting more so by the week, and a lot of that has to do with Minshew. As Minshew plays better, I think it's going to force defenses to respect him. So the better he plays with Downs and Pittman, the better it is actually for JT as well. Swift for K9. I'd rather have Swift, I believe. I think I'd rather have Swift, and it has to do with the offensive line of the Eagles. Joe, Bijan, Ayuk, and Keenan Allen for Chase, Kyron, and Amari Cooper. Man, I'd rather have Bijan, Ayuk, and Keenan Allen. I think I'd rather have Bijan, Ayuk, and Keenan Allen. Turner fantasy score over Yordan Alvarez. So, JP, it's tricky because those are my two favorite players tonight. I'm also going to throw this one up on the board. Not surprising at all. Folks, Yordan Alvarez is a monster. Literally. I think he is a monster from another planet. It's called Planet Cuba. And the dude has been raking. He has been dominating. And if you like one stat, it's definitely him against Max Scherzer. Lifetime, he's 4 for 8 with 3 walks. So, out of 11 at-bats, he's reached base 7 times. Yeah, we like that a lot. So, with that said, Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's also been a very consistent ticket as well. I believe it's 10 out of the last 11 games he's played. He's gone over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Now, between Alvarez and Trey Turner, who do I like more? It might be Turner from a fantasy standpoint because you might get a steal. The risk you have is can Alvarez go yard? It's very close. They're my two favorite players tonight. I really don't want to bet against the two of them or one versus the other. I want to bet them together. I have parlayed the two of them in terms of hits, like a Yordan Alvarez over half a hit. I did parlay that with Trey Turner over half a hit. Those are just some plays that I could turn some minus money into plus money. Appreciate all you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that follow button. David, we playing McCaffrey tonight? Yes, we are. It's Mikey Roberts. McCaffrey and Hawkinson get 30 points tonight. I actually think you have a chance at that. I think it's on the fringes, but I think there's a chance. Spencer Niles asked about George Kittle, 60 yards. At first blush, I don't love the 60 yards. Again, I feel like it's going to be a little bit riskier. It's worth taking a look at, though, so let's dive into it really quick. I just want to see what the outlier implied probability says. But overall, I'd be a little bit nervous about that. That feels a little high to me. I know Debo out, greater chance it hits, but it feels a touch high. Receiving yards. Man, good implied probability, actually, but it's the same as the under. Okay. It's hit in 2 of the last 4 games, but both of those were at home. Interesting to note. George Kittle has not hit the over. Man, the last time he did it on the road was Seattle. I don't like it. On the road, I don't like it. I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet George Kittle over on receiving yards. I just don't like that play. Doesn't feel good to me. Feels like a trap. It's a trap. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you love the content, the conversation, make sure you hit that follow button. Kyan, Keenan for Adams and Breece Hall. I'd keep Keenan Allen. Elliott Robinson, first quarter money line for the 49ers. I don't like bets like that, Elliott Robinson. I do like my McCaffrey first half touchdown, but things can get a little nutty. Should we be concerned about Eckler? I'd be a little bit concerned about Eckler because you can see the age. You can see the wear and tear. The speed isn't quite there. And even worse, I just don't like the situation he's in right now. The Chargers are in a bad spot. Now, I think the Chargers get a win next week, but all of a sudden, the Chargers are in a bad spot. Mason, should I trade away A.J. Brown and Stevenson for Eckler and Waddle? No, I think I'd rather have Brown and Stevenson, and it's really because Brown is so valuable right now. Pip 1510, what do you think about any of these picks? Vikings plus 7.5, I'm okay with. Total over 39.5. I'm not going to bet the total tonight. I think it'll probably go over Pip 1510. I think the over probably is the better play, but I don't think I'm going to bet the total in this one. Hawkinson over 50 yards, I like. Ayuk over 3 catches, I like. Kirk over half an interception, I think I like. Madison over 66.5 rushing plus receiving yards, I don't like. I don't like the Madison one. Madison's the one I don't like. Pollard for ETN. Duffy the GOAT. I'd rather have Pollard. I know ETN's been hot, but I think I'd still rather have Pollard. Lucci DeMeo. Do I trade Jacobs and Hopkins for DJ Moore, Mixon, and JSN? Yes, I would. Lucci DeMeo. Yes, I would. Man, we got some sun coming at us right now. Frankie, Cook, or Pacheco? I'd go with Pacheco. I feel like this is what it's like to be a plant. Like, you got the sun coming at you right now, and all I'm doing, I wish I could grow on this right now. That'd be 7 feet tall. Do I trade Devontae Smith? I'd probably keep him. Juan, I do like Kittle on a touchdown. Jacob Vines, up 41. He has Ayuk and Madison. Do I win? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because I don't think they're gonna get past 25. Lucci DeMeo, appreciate you. Nuve DK, should I bench Gabe Davis for Josh Downs? It's all about week-to-week matchups, guys. It's all about week-to-week matchups. The Colts are playing the Saints next week. Saints are a really good pass defense. We saw this past Thursday, how long it took the Jaguars' passing offense to get going. Now, the one thing I will say is the other wide receivers in the Jaguars' offense performed better. So Kirk, Rashid Shaheed, they performed a little bit better, obviously, than Ridley. Maybe that means Downs plays better than Pittman, but I actually wouldn't want any receivers going up against the Saints' pass defense right now. Amari, trade Myers and Cook for Devontae. I have Pacheco, Eckler. I don't know if I do that. I think so, but Devontae Adams at this point, I think I do that. Connor, do I trade Amon-Ra for Pacheco and DeAndre Swift? No, I'd rather have Pacheco and DeAndre Swift. I'd rather have the two running backs. Austin, Stevenson, or Ford? Are you asking rest of season? I think rest of season, I'm still going to believe a little bit more in Stevenson. But Ford definitely showed you something. But we also really liked Ford yesterday. We mentioned that prior to the start of the show. We just love the matchup that he had. Next week, he goes up against the Seahawks. Interesting matchup for him, actually. Might be one he can take advantage of. Down 17, and I have Hawkinson. Do I win? He has Addison. No. Mike, I don't think so. Mitchell, McCaffrey, and Connor for JT and Swift. Mitchell, I'd rather have JT and Swift, I think. Pip 1510. What do you think about Bosa to have a sack? I actually didn't bet Nick Bosa to get a sack in this game. Funny enough, he may get it, but I didn't take it. I didn't take it on this one. Let's quickly take a look at it. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Let's check out Nick Bosa to get a sack. Good implied probability at 62%. Maybe I did take it earlier in the week. I didn't like it. I didn't take it. So, it's not one I'm giving out today. If there is one sack play that I like, as the Sun finally makes a bit of a move to take the heat off of me, it's Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter over 0.25 sacks. No Trent Williams. He has a sack in 6 out of his last 7 games. I like Danielle Hunter over a quarter of a sack. I'd throw that one up on the board as well. Danielle Hunter over a quarter of a sack. Again, no Trent Williams is why I like the play. Lack of that stud left tackle. I think Hunter, and you keep in mind, this is in Minnesota, crowd noise with Purdy. How he's going to handle that, I'll take Hunter. I like it. Pip 1510, we got you. Rest of season, can you rank the 3? Godwin, Rice, and Cooper. Rest of season, I actually might go Rice 1, Godwin 2, Cooper 3. And it has to do with the quarterback. I trust Mahomes the most. I trust Baker second. I trust Deshaun Watson third. Noob DK, should I start Addison over Cooper or Dobbs? Rest of season, I think it's so week-to-week matchup, guys. I think the biggest overreaction I hear every Monday or every Tuesday reacting to the previous week is, should I start this guy rest of season? Well, if he's facing a good cornerback, if he's facing a good run defense, if he's facing a team that gets a lot of sacks and intercepts quarterbacks, maybe they're not worth it. So you got to be really mindful, guys, that what we see one week, we shouldn't take in Sharpie and write in permanent ink this guy into my lineup. Josh Downs had a great week yesterday. I didn't expect it. He was going up against a really good Browns defense. He had a really good game, really because he had one big play that turned into a touchdown. Outside of that, it was an okay game. It was good. It wasn't amazing, but that one play was massive. Can he do that against the Saints? Yes. Is the likelihood that he does against the Saints high? No, it's not. It's one of the reasons you always got to evaluate week to week. Nico might have missed the answer, but thoughts on McCaffrey touchdown, Turner hit, Alvarez hit parlay. Nico, I'm actually doing it. I don't actually think I have that parlay, but I have those 3 bets myself. So Nico, yes, I actually would do that bet. Interesting cross-sport bet there. Again, guys, if you want every bet that I make every day, just DM me on Instagram. Butt Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram, just like Mitchell Becker. Mitchell Becker, what's up, saucy boy? Mitchell Becker, you just got every bet that I make every day. So DM me on Instagram, guys, if you want to see every bet that I make, no matter the sport, no matter the player prop bet, all of it. Here to help you guys out with everything that you guys need. Tate Rich, would you rather have Hill and Puka or Cup and Olave? Hill and Puka. Tate Rich, Hill and Puka by a mile, by the way, by a large margin. Kyan, Jacobs and Waddle for Pollard and Ridley. I'd rather have Pollard and Ridley. The Titanic, Walker, Higgins, Harris. I like the trade, Titanic. I like the trade. I like the trade. Matthew Lester, Kirk and Logan for Adam Thielen. Oh, Matthew Lester, I wouldn't do it. Matthew Lester, I would not do the deal. Rich Matthews needs 66 points for my Ayuk, Purdy, and Kittle to win tonight. Think there's a chance? Rich Matthews, I really appreciate you supporting the show. I appreciate you watching. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get to 66 points. Bryson, I need 25 from McCaffrey. Will I win? Bryson, I'm sorry. Much like Rich Matthews, I hope you're having a great day, but I don't think your Monday Night Football matchup is going to play out the way you want. Sam, should I trade Mostert and D-Hop for Breece Hall or JT and Waddle? Yes, Sam, I would do that. I really like Mostert. Not surprised he didn't have a great game last night, but I do like Mostert rest of season. But for Breece Hall or JT and Waddle, that's actually a trade I would make, Sam. By the way, I always feel terrible when someone's like, do you think I'm going to win with, I have this player. Do you think I'm going to get like 30 points? I always feel like it's being at the mall and being like, that's not the real Santa. Like, it totally just knocks out someone's dream and hope. So I hate doing that. I love being an optimistic person, so I get no joy out of it. I'll say that. Start 2. Examples. Are we already looking ahead to NFL Week 8? I can't believe it's already going to be Week 8. But if you're asking about T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, George Pickens, T. Higgins has a tough matchup against... Oh, Breaks and Lotto. Thanks so much. T. Higgins has a tough matchup against these very same 49ers that'll be playing tonight. Rashee Rice. Who's he playing this week? Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice plays Denver. Gotta play Rashee Rice this week. Rashee Rice, great matchup against that Denver Broncos pass defense. And then George Pickens faced Jacksonville. Jacksonville's been bad against the pass. I know the Saints had trouble, but they shouldn't have, frankly. That was a misconnection between Carr and Olave and his receiver. So, examples, I think it's probably Rice and Pickens if I'm just doing it at first blush. Joshua Beck, Watson getting hurt, killed me. Deshaun Watson is I'm going to say this, and I want to make sure you guys hear it because I want you to run with it. I want you guys to spread this. I think Deshaun Watson doesn't want to play football. I think Deshaun Watson hates playing football. I think Deshaun Watson doesn't enjoy his job. I think like so many people in this world, Deshaun Watson is only doing what he does for the paycheck, but I don't think he loves the game of football. I don't think he's someone that's like Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning or one of these Phillip Rivers where it's like, you're going to have to tear the jersey off of me. No, I think Deshaun Watson doesn't like football. Yeah, you heard me say it. I think Deshaun Watson's really athletic. I think Deshaun Watson enjoys being paid lucrative amounts of money for his physical ability in the sport that he plays. But do I think Deshaun Watson likes football? No. Do I think he loves it? No. Do I think Deshaun Watson dislikes football? A little bit. Because I think Deshaun Watson knows that the only way... Now, it's guaranteed money, so maybe he doesn't have to. But I think Deshaun Watson so often comes up with bullshit excuses about his physical health so he doesn't have to play football. J.J. Watt would break his nose like 4 times a season, and that dude would still be out there like on offense, defense, and frickin' special teams if you let him. Deshaun Watson, especially since the massage scandal and everything else, this dude doesn't love football. Dude loves getting paid. Deshaun Watson loves making his money. But does this dude want to die on the football field to get one more snap in, to get one more throw in? No. And I think Deshaun Watson is going to have, there's going to be 2 fallouts from Deshaun Watson. One, he just screwed every player ever in perpetuity in the NFL because there's going to be never one owner again in the NFL that's going to be like, oh, we should give guaranteed money to this player. Right now, there isn't one player outside of Patrick Mahomes that would probably garner that kind of contract. And by the way, even the Chiefs would probably be like, we shouldn't do that with Mahomes. Deshaun Watson has destroyed player contracts moving over for every player, moving on, for every player that's to come. That's one. And 2, the Browns are fucked. The Browns are done. And I'm going to use harsh language on this one only because the Browns got what they deserved. They signed a bad guy. They signed a guy who we know did bad things. We know he did. It's not like up for debate. Like he was a bad guy, he did bad things, and he got away with it. Okay. Justice system being what it is, fine. But Deshaun Watson is not a good person. He did not do good things. He is accused of bad things. And they gave him guaranteed money. They gave him money that would change communities forever. Browns, you got what you deserve. I hope Deshaun Watson continues to prove to you that he doesn't like playing football, and you got to continue to pay him. Because Cleveland, you once again prove that you are the laughingstock, the dumpster fire, the lake on fire, the mistake by the lake. I love people from Cleveland, but I went to Cleveland last year and they were telling me, oh, we're okay paying Deshaun Watson money. He's going to win for us. And I was like, really? You're okay paying a bad person because he's going to win for you? I don't feel that way. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather lose than have an Aaron Hernandez on my team. I'd rather lose than have a Deshaun Watson on my team. I'd rather lose than have a Tyreek Hill on my team. I would. I'm one of those guys. But the Cleveland Browns fans, they didn't feel that way. They were all about it. Well, guess what you got now? You've got a guaranteed lump of nothing. You got a guaranteed lump of nothing. Because the dude doesn't love football. Deshaun Watson is the biggest problem in the NFL right now because the dude doesn't love football. And he's destroying the Browns and he's destroying about sports. That's one of the things I love doing here. I don't get to do it enough because we answer so many fantasy questions. By the way, is Watson Hernandez? No, I was just using an extreme example of I wouldn't want a killer. I wouldn't want a molester. I wouldn't want a child abuser. I wouldn't want a woman abuser. I don't want any. I want players on my team that actually are, decent human beings. And when they're not, I don't want to give them guaranteed money. But anyways, Nicholas Polo, Nicholas Polo, I think I'd rather have Kirk at this point. I think Christian Kirk might be the wide receiver one on that team. Hard left turn, by the way, back to fantasy. Hard left turn back to fantasy. Would you trade Mark Andrews and Goff for JJ? No. No, Zach, I wouldn't. Taylor, I got offered Kupp and Walker for Justin Jefferson, Cook, and Amari. I'd rather have Kupp and Walker. Carson, I need 23 out of McCaffrey and Ayuk. Will I get it even though McCaffrey's hurt? Outside chance. Actually, Carson, there's a decent chance. I think they could get to 25. Do you like Javier pitching outs? JP, it actually isn't one I'm going to take. I'm not going to take that bet. I was thinking about that earlier because I like Nola and I like Merrill Kelly on their total outs. I mentioned that earlier. Oh, got to switch over to baseball. I mentioned earlier, I like Merrill Kelly. I also like Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola over his total outs, 16.5. I like that one as well. So I'll throw that one up here as well really quickly while we have the chance. I'm going to throw them next to the pitchers. I'll put the pitchers next to each other. But Aaron Nola over 16.5 outs. I like that play. I can't say the same about the two pitchers in the other game. Christian Javier's pitched well in the postseason, but I think there could be a short leash there, a quick hook. Game 7, as you can see, it's 12.5 outs. That's how low they're setting it. These are two good offenses. I'm expecting fireworks in that game. I'm expecting offense early. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a first run scored in that Astros Rangers game. So Christian Javier, I like to be the better pitcher through maybe the first 3-4 innings, but I wouldn't take the over-under on the number of outs he's going to get. I'd be wary of him getting a quick hook. Navi, James Cook, and DK for Pollard, or Jacobs, DK. I'd go Cook and DK for Pollard. If you're getting Pollard. Joshua Beck. If I were to pick up any of those quarterbacks, the answer is I probably wouldn't. Dobbs has a terrible matchup against the Ravens. I guess Pickett would be the best start. By the way, no bye weeks this week. We go from 6 teams on the bye to no teams on the bye this week. So everybody's in action. Very interesting. Atlanta plays Tennessee. They're bad against the pass, but I don't trust Desmond Ridder as much as I probably do Pickett, believe it or not. So Pickett would probably be the best one, Joshua Beck, but I'm not crazy about it. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you subscribe. We are live every single day, usually at 5 p.m., but I came on early because of the baseball games. What running back should I start? If you don't have McCaffrey, the second running back to start would be Mitchell. So McCaffrey 1, Mitchell 2, Mason 3. How many points would you think Hawkinson and Ayuk put up tonight? Like 24, 26, somewhere in that range I could see. Bryce Ridley, trade Amari Cooper and Deontay Johnson for CeeDee Lamb. I'd do the trade, Bryce. I would do the trade. Bryce. It's close because Deontay Johnson and Cooper, it's close, but I think I'd do the trade. Yep. John, I traded Moss and Addison for Jones and Cooper before Sunday, hoping Jones will provide. Yeah, I agree with you, but I'd have faith. John, I'd hold out faith. Thoughts on DeAndre Swift? Love him in the offense. Look, I thought he was going to have a better game last night when it came to running the ball. Obviously, it's a little tricky sometimes with how they use Jalen Hurts, how they use Kenneth Gainwell. But overall, did you see Swift totally have someone lose their laundry on the field? His ability to cut with that offensive line, I still believe in Swift being a lock-it-in RB2 every single week. Pack Machine, I'm up 17. I have Moody playing tonight. That should be good that should be a good start. My opponent has Kirk Cousins and Ayuk. Oof. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to pull out the W. I think it's going to be close, but no, I don't think you will, actually. Tyler, great to see you, Tyler. Which side would you take? Herbert, Eckler, Kupp, Hawkinson, Allen, Jones, Hill. Tyler, I would say Hill. I'd say side B. I'd say side B is the one I'd take. TB, Walker and DJ Moore for Jones and St. Brown. What side wins? Jones and St. Brown. TB, Jones and St. Brown. Fire Blaster, I traded Mostert and Olave for Jefferson. Smart or not smart? I don't think it was smart, but we'll see. Nate, I've been saying it's time to get rid of JJ for a while. Again, guys, to me, it's not about Justin Jefferson doesn't have value. To me, it actually is more about, I don't think the Vikings have value. So Justin Jefferson, by default, is just kind of in a brutal spot where it's like, how can Justin Jefferson possibly succeed when the Vikings aren't successful? Really tough spot for him to be in. Jorge Jordan, it's up on our board, Jorge. You can see it right now, up on our board. Rod Pena, trade K9 and Evans for A.J. Brown. Yep, Rod Pena, I do the deal. Rod Pena, I would do the deal. Guys, we have been live for just about an hour and 5 minutes. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you have not done so already, if you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you hit the follow button. If I've answered your question, you love the conversation, you like our rants, you want to catch the show every day, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that follow button, and make sure you subscribe. Liz, thank you so much for the tiny diny. Liz, how's your day going? You having a good day, Liz? I hope it was a wonderful weekend for you. Parker, Jacobs and Judy for Mostert. I get Mostert. I like it, Parker. I do like the deal. IP Shade 45. Hope you're having a great Monday night. Raiders. Tough weekend for those Raiders, buddy. Liz, hope you're having a great day, Liz. Hope it's been a wonderful start to your work week. Nolan Claus. Should I trade Pollard or Saquon for Justin Jefferson? I wouldn't do it, Nolan. I wouldn't do it. Don't do it. Jackson Valentine. Should I trade away Saquon Barkley? You can. Yeah, he obviously has high value right now, but I think I'd keep him. I'm seeing something in his ability. When Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback, I feel like Saquon's better. I feel like the threat of Tyrod Taylor's running ability is just, it affects defenses and their ability to pin in Saquon. Trade Kupp for Olave and Barkley. I'm okay with it because I think Olave and Barkley will outscore Kupp overall. But I think Kupp is the easier one to kind of write in day to day. So, user 18, I'm okay with the trade. Concerned Citizen, I'm up 41. My opponent has Kittle and Madison. You're going to win. Concerned Citizen, I feel good about it. Who can I trade Madison for? Oh, I don't like it. IP Shade 45, thanks so much for the pumpkin spice. Kobe Robbins. By the way, are you guys pumpkin spice people? Like, the revolution of pumpkin spice, like, never hit my world. Like, I never got into pumpkin spice. Maybe it's because I'm from New England and, you know, with pilgrims and Native Americans, like, we've been dealing with pumpkins forever. But pumpkin spice just didn't like take over my world like everything else. But IP Shade 45, thanks so much for the support you're showing me tonight. Winter Soldier 2001, down 60. Ayuk, Hawkinson, Addison, and Moody. I don't think so. If you think Ayuk and Hawkinson can get you 30 combined, Moody can get you 10. Addison, I think you're going to fall like 10 to 15 short, Winter Soldier. 10 to 15 short would be my guess. Brian Bott, do you think Hurts' value will keep going up, or did he just have 2 recent outliers? No, his value is going to keep going up. Kareem Hunt's value is going to keep going up. Kareem Hunt, especially with how they play in the red zone, he is such a factor getting touchdowns. I think Kareem Hunt's value is going to maintain itself. Gus, what do I do with Ridley? I have Jefferson, Hill in a 12-man. I need another running back. I only have Kamara. I'd be okay trading Ridley for another running back. Obviously, Jefferson as well, but you might not get as much value out of Jefferson depending on what kind of owners are in the league. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. I am going to jump off early today because I want to go watch this playoff game. As you guys know, this MLB playoff game is just getting underway. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show. I promised that I would come on, and I will remain. I will come on later tonight, guys. I will do a night show tonight for subscribers only. So for all of those that love the show, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. I will be on later tonight. We will do a night show tonight. Subscriber only night show. So make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. And again, if you guys want every bet that I make every day, every kind of bet, player prop bet, game pick, total play, parlay, doesn't matter the sport. Hockey, baseball, football, basketball, doesn't matter. DM me on Instagram, guys. DM me on Instagram. Sal knows what I'm talking about. DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me. I give out all of my picks for free. There's no paywall. I want you guys to see them. I want you to win money. Now, you can follow me. You can fade me. It's up to you. You don't have to agree with my bet, but you see every bet that I make every day, and that way you guys are as well informed as possible so you guys can make the decision for yourself. But if you want to see every bet that I make every day, player prop bet, game pick, total play, no matter the sport, no matter the pick, it is available to you for free. Just DM me on Instagram, guys. DM me on Instagram. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. And just like Ollie, oh no, he wants thoughts on JT. Apparently wrong. But DM me on Instagram for all those picks. With that said, I will do a night show tonight. I will be live on TikTok later tonight. So hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to comment tonight, make sure you're a subscriber on TikTok. I will do that show later tonight. Probably at like 10:30, guys. At like 10:30. By the way, some breaking news before we go. Dawson Knox, wrist injury. Dawson Knox of the Buffalo Bills, wrist injury. Know what that means, guys? Dalton Kincaid's value just shot up. So for all of those that are watching the show, make sure Dalton Kincaid, if you need a tight end, you can go roster Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox, wrist injury, going to be out for some time. Dalton Kincaid, go pick him up. That said, guys, I will be live later tonight. We'll do a subscriber-only show on TikTok at around 10:30. So make sure you guys follow. Make sure you subscribe. Hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, have a wonderful night. Enjoy all this baseball. Enjoy Monday Night Football. And I will see you guys later tonight around 10:30. Until then, have a great night, everybody. And can't wait to talk to you then. Goodbye, everybody.